Hello friends! Today I'm trying out the new Klarity Kosmetics Anaconda palette that is releasing on Black Friday. It's honestly such a cool color story and I was so blown away when I saw it announced. Then the brand actually reached out to me and asked me, do you want to try it? And I was like, yes, I need to try it. So I'm super stoked to try it out. I have some Klarity Cosmetics palettes since before, so I'm interested to see if the formula has changed or if it's similar to what I'm used to from the brand. I haven't yet swatched this palette, but of course I will include swatches in this video so you can see how it looks swatched out. I'm very curious to see how this palette performs because just judging by how it looks in the pans, it's super stunning. Of course I wanted to be a little bit matchy with my outfit and we will see what kind of look I'm going for today. I haven't yet decided. I will start out by trying the shade that speaks the most to me. It's called For Goodness Snake. Really good shade name, by the way. Ooh, it looks pigmented when I pick up it on the brush. This is a favorite shade already. I'm so weak for those kinds of shades. I think that you can tell that by the clothes I wear too. I'm kind of tempted to dip into the purple, so I think I will do it. This shade is called Snake It Off, another excellent shade name. And I'm just applying it here. It's super pigmented. I have to say that I think that those mattes are quite a lot more pigmented than the other mattes that I have tried from the brand. But that's just my first impression, of course. I can't say that now. I'm already living for this color combo. The brand is actually releasing another palette on Black Friday too. I haven't gotten it, but it's a super pretty color story as well. But Anaconda did actually speak the most to me, so I was really happy when I saw that they sent this one to me. My first impression of those eyeshadows are that they blend very well and that they are quite pigmented. I will blend the edges with a translucent powder just because that's how I like to do it. I feel like it gives a more softer blend. Now I'm going to cut the crease. If you notice that my energy is a little bit low in this video, I apologize, but I'm actually sick right now, so I'm not feeling the best, to be honest. Now I will go in with the shimmers on the lid. I'm very surprised by how vibrant this shade is. I'm not even using any glitter glue. I will go back with the turquoise shade and put it on my lower lash line because it's just such a beautiful color. If it was just up to me, I would buy this palette just for this specific shade, but I know I'm crazy. Just because I'm curious, I need to try the turquoise shimmer too, and I will put it on my lower lash line. It seems like this formula is a little bit more flaky than the other shimmers, but oh boy is it a gorgeous shade. I would probably use this with the glitter glue next time, but today I'm too lazy to do it. I'm very happy that I used it today because it's so stunning. not sure what I will use in my inner corners. Maybe I will just go with the silver again. I'm kind of tempted to add the turquoise shade on the middle of the lid too, just to blend the shades together. Sometimes when I do those kind of last minute decisions, I can destroy the look, so I will start with doing it on this eye, in case I hate it. I mean, I don't love it, but I don't hate it either, so I will do it here. For some extra dimension, I will add the darkest green here in the little edge. What I really love with this color story is that no matter which kind of shades you use together, they look so good together. So to me this is a very well thought out and cohesive color story. Of course it's not a smink look without a liner, so I will actually go in with a new liner to me from the brand Millie Cosmetics. It's a multi-chrome liner, so I'm really excited to see how it performs on the eyes. So far so good. It's pigmented and it looks very pretty. In my experience, I feel like those felt tip liners are slightly harder to use than water activated liner, but it's just a preference thing. This works perfectly fine and it seems to dry down quite fast too, which I appreciate. Since the pans in the eyeshadow palette is quite big, I will try and use the shade Histogram as a blush. It's a quite cool toned shade, but I think that it suits this look. Maybe a little bit of the shade Pitong too. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I'm kind of tempted to try Hissy Fit, the red shade, as a blush, but I might destroy the look. So this is the finished look. I have to admit that I normally wouldn't go with such a bold lip color together with this kind of eye look. I have to say that I'm kind of into it. It's something different and a bit out of my comfort zone, to be honest, because normally I would go with a bold lippy and a more lighter eye look, or a more bold eye look and a lighter lip. But it's all about the vibe. It's maybe just because those colors are so contrasting that I feel like it's out of my comfort zone. So it takes some time for me to get used to, I guess. But let me know what you would pair with this eye look. Would you go for a red lip or would you use any other colors? As for first impression, when it comes to the Anaconda palette, I'm very impressed. I love the mattes and the shimmers are really pretty. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I felt like the mattes has improved since the other palettes that I have used from the brand, which is really exciting and I can't wait to use it some more. I will of course come back and use it more times before I give you a full-on conclusion about what I think about the palette. I'm super curious to know if this palette lives rent-free in your head and if you are planning to pick it up or if you're waiting for a sale. Hello guys, it's another look, another day. And you might look at me and think, did she really reach for the right palette now? Has she gone crazy? And you're wrong. I actually managed to create a neutral look with the Anaconda palette and I actually had to mix some shades to get the right neutral shades. But it's totally possible and I know that most of you who are interested in this palette won't buy it because of its neutral qualities, but I still want to show you what you can do with a palette like this. There is, believe it or not, some occasions in our lives when we want a neutral look, and that's when we want to reach for a good palette that can do both colorful and neutral looks. So I'm actually super excited that I was able to create a neutral look with such a colorful one. But anyhow, I ended up mixing the green and purple shade to get a more darker grayish shade. It's quite close to black, I would say, but it's of course not fully black, but it still gives depth to the look, which a neutral look kind of needs in my opinion. And by the way, this palette works perfectly fine as a contour and a cheek palette too. Like the shade It's a Snake Out works great on my cheeks and my skin tone. And I also used the shade Python as a blush, but I have also used another shades as blush in my other looks. I already owned the So Mermazing palette and the Cobra palette. I feel like the Cobra palette has a quite similar formula compared to the Anaconda palette, but I still feel like the Anaconda palette has slightly more pigmented and more blendable formula. I'm not sure if it actually has improved or not, but I still feel like it's better than the other one. When it comes to the So Mermazing palette, I feel like the pastel mattes are... most of them works quite good, but not as good as in the Anaconda palette. But the yellow shade was not pigmented at all, it didn't show up on my skin tone. The shimmers has always been good with this brand, and that's also the case with the Anaconda palette too. Those shades aren't super sparkly, except for the silver shade that is called Fang Male, and I Hiss You A Lot. I Hiss You A Lot is a more flaky formula, but that's not a problem if you use a glitter glue and know how to apply it. I personally prefer using a finger when I apply that kind of shade, and it looks spectacular on the lids once it's on. I would say that if you are into this kind of color story, I would definitely go for it, because the formula is really solid, it works perfectly fine, the shades blends well, it's easy to mix the shades to get another shade, and they layer well on top of each other, and the shimmers are really pretty. That being said, if you are on a low buy or a no buy, don't break it just for the sake of this palette. I'm sure that it will stay here for quite some time. I haven't heard that it is a limited edition palette, and you could probably dupe most of those shades. The most unique shade to me is For Goodness Snake. It's a very beautiful matte teal shade. The shimmers are really pretty, but I think that you could find dupes for it if you really look into your collection. For me personally, I will treasure this palette because I am completely blown away by the formula and the beautiful color story. Enough rambling, I will show you some close-ups of the look, and then I will maybe create another look for you. Before you leave, please let me know if you are planning to get this palette or not. And please consider to subscribe if you are interested in indie makeup content and colorful makeup in general. It was lovely to see you here. Have a nice day. Bye bye. I know what you're thinking. Did she really reach for the right palette now? And yes, I actually managed to create a neutral look with the abracadabra. I'm just